Hello everybody and welcome back to Connect to Tech. What the tech is going on?
Hello. Welcome
This
back.
is Richard.
Hi.
And we have a very strict agenda today, which we will definitely not stick to, as we talk about a roundup of 2019's tech releases, tech news, and games, and probably other completely irrelevant things.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have actually we've made a list. There's an actual list involved.
Yes.
So you would hope.
It's a loose list.
Yes.
You could say maybe. Right. Well, the big thing is, where the hell have we been?
Well, I think that I mentioned in the build videos that you are in your final year of university.
Yes.
So life is hard.
Oh God, so much work. So much fun and more interesting work. Like I've got my project and I'm going out and I'm doing readings and I'm collecting data and I'm writing a big 10,000 word report and blah, blah, blah.
God.
That might get published, yay.
Ooh.
And all this other stuff. So it's interesting, but yeah, it sucks all my time.
And then I've been enjoying the fact that I've finished university and having to find jobs.
Yeah, the bit I'm more
you've got to
terrified
look forward to.
Yeah, I'm not worried about my exams this year or my dissertation or any of that stuff. I'm worried about getting a job afterwards.
We've just had Christmas. Merry Christmas,
We're not
everybody.
done much.
Happy New Year.
Yes, all that
Merry
stuff.
birthday. Happy Christmas.
The baby Jesus and all that things. Right, so anyway.
Anyway.
In the vein of that, we have had some tech stuff happen.
Yes. Well, just a few things.
Yeah, you had the Ryzen build, which has gone up.
Yep, that's gone up. That's all sort of settled in now. I'm very pleased.
Is it up to the standard you were hoping? Is it nice?
I think
way more powerful than me now.
It's just funny because it's hard to quantify because it's not struggled with anything yet. Realistically.
You've got a computer so powerful you can't find something that it's not good at.
Well, not that I do anyway. I mean,
you do rendering and editing and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's notably. I did some tests and things. I think I told you about this. Did I show them in the video in the end or not? Don't remember. If not, then we'll make a video discussing the differences. But
we can do some direct comparisons because you've got 2700, haven't you, or 2600?
Yes. 2700X. So
the 8-core 16-thread.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've got the FX 8350 8-core, 8-core air quotes, AMD, beast mode from back in the day. So if you do like a then versus now, how far they've come.
Now, yeah.
And be like, oh God, they've come so far. It's barely
Is yours
worth...
8 threads, did you say?
Yeah. It's supposed to be 8 cores, but they didn't do full cores. They only did half the cores because they skimped on instruction units or something in the cores. It's a whole thing. And then since then, they've been done for false advertising, so you can't even call them cores anymore because training standards
of course.
Stand on your face. So, yeah.
Well,
I had an 8-core, but then semantics happened.
Yes. So, but when you first got it, it was an
8-core.
It was considered an 8-core. So that's fair enough.
You can do some testing and stuff. And I've got this now for help with uni.
Oh yes. So beware, Richard is currently being
enjoying the whisper silence of a 2014 MacBook Air.
Dun dun dun.
Which is just it's unfair how nice this thing is. It's unfair noting that it was 300 quid as well, which is damn cheap for a MacBook.
So what's next on the list?
Oh yeah.
I refuse to tangent.
Yeah, we must.
Although we did tangent slightly.
I got a new phone.
Finally. Oh, did you?
I moved
I didn't even know
that. iPhone 5C to an iPhone SE, making the world's smallest upgrade jump.
Well, no, it was more sort of needed for compatibility jump, wasn't it?
Yeah, The SE runs the most recent iOS and all that other stuff. I have like a fingerprint majigger now. It's all cool.
A leap from a phone
Touchscreen.
that's what, like 5 years old to to a phone that's 3 years old.
The
Something like that.
SE was discontinued in 2015. No,
Okay.
the 5C was discontinued in 2015. The SE was only discontinued in 2018. So that's like 3 years more phone.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So it probably means that it'll last 3 years before it goes out of date.
That's true.
And by then, I might actually like something that a phone manufacturer has released.
Well, yeah, you did want
Wow.
one that was the same size, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't care for any of these giant chocolate bars sitting in your pocket. Just
Way about
unreasonable.
the same as a chocolate
My
bar.
thumb can reach all the corners of.
Yeah, that's the way. And you're truly embedded in the Apple ecosystem at this point.
I am a little. I've got an iPhone, I've got an iMac, I've got another iMac. It's like, okay. I was looking at some on Facebook Marketplace last night because I saw a few cheap ones on there. I was like, ooh. You know, one of the big ones with the
Yeah.
inbuilt screen and all that stuff. And I was like,
How
ooh.
old though? Because they get really quite. The spec
Yeah, I was
goes
looking at the
down
old El
significantly.
Capitan Core 2 Duo stuff.
Yeah, you pay a lot for not much spec.
90 quid for a Core 2 Duo and 4 gigs of DDR2. It's like, that's not worth that.
That's it's mad.
And then
It's
you find
mad
out
how-
it's
it's mad
mobile
how-
Core 2 Duo as well.
The value has managed to maintain being terrible.
It's weird.
It's
So
just
you
that
keep
the
that
Mac
value,
Minis, the Mac Minis didn't catch on that well. That's why you got such a good deal on that one.
Yeah.
They didn't really
The thing
catch
is,
on.
my Mac Mini is now decidedly better than every other Mac Mini because it's got an SSD, it's got decent RAM in it, and a bunch of other stuff because I did upgrades. I still wouldn't buy a new MacBook ever.
For
This is
value.
brilliant, and I
Yeah.
love this. But I love this because it was 300 quid, and since I bought it, they've gone up to 400. That's how much I. That's where I'm getting my happiness from. Is like, okay, this was expensive, but now it's more expensive somehow.
So that's even better. Yeah, it's got older, and it's gone down in price. No, it's gone
weird.
up in price. Yeah.
Because I had a look on CX yesterday. I bought this for 320, and no postage and packing because it's CX. It's got a 2-year warranty, all this other crap. And I just had a quick look, and they're 400 now for the exact same spec as this.
See, that's just insane. It's probably Christmas. Maybe they bumped their prices up for Christmas, perhaps.
Maybe. Next on the list is streaming stuff. We are currently streaming this.
Woo!
Doing streaming. Like the WAN show and a bunch of other things.
Like a bunch of other things. It's a good thing to branch out into because we can kind of announce on this video that we're probably going to be streaming some games at some point.
Yeah. I can definitely do streaming with my build. Harry can definitely do streaming with his build.
So
Right, anyway.
Talk about your Vive experience because we've had a whole podcast about PSVR. So Richard recently experienced how the other half live, as it were.
Yeah, how the toffs live up in their gold-plated 1080 Ti's and other such. Do
you know what was running it? They probably had some fat laptop with a 1060.
It was a 980 Ti. It was a guy's rig. He brought his computer. It was a 2600, a Ryzen 2600, and a 980 Ti. So basically your rig, but
I was gonna say it's like, well, no, it probably balances out because he's got the slightly worse processor and the slightly better graphics card.
I was like,
It's
okay,
more or
that's
less my
pretty
rig. Yeah.
But so I've tried the Vive now. After owning a PSVR forever and ever and ever. It feels like ever and ever. It's coming up to about a year nowish, I think.
Yeah, it feels like forever.
It's great. It's
because
awesome.
in the world there is
up
no
in the morning
time.
and go, I'm going to play Beat Saber, and then doing it. Excellent. Yeah, I went to a Beat Saber night at the pub at my student accommodation.
It sounds like such a made-up thing, but it's real.
Yeah, and we went down, and it was a competition that I won. It kind of felt like cheating because I own Beat Saber, so I had loads of experience.
Yeah, were you the only person there who played it before, apart from the guy who owned the Vive?
Well, everyone else had. Well, we had a few warm-up goes, and then we had a proper go.
Right, yeah. But you've been training. You may as well have done like revision.
Yeah, it's like revising for an exam, except revising for an exam at the princely cost of 200 something quid.
Pretty much.
Anyway, so I tried the 5, and I honestly didn't like it as much.
Which is controversial opinion.
It's really weird. Lots of people say that they don't like the PSVR or they don't like Oculus or whatever, but the headset
Vive is kind of criticism free almost, I would say.
Vive is supposed to be the big deal, and
Apart
I found
from the
things
light
with it that I
boxes.
didn't like.
A couple of people do complain about the light boxes, the setup, the cost, sort of material cost of setup, not as in money, but as in like time and, you know, the ability to actually have to set it up is the main complaint, I think.
It's like we got there, and it took the guy an hour to get it set up, and it still wasn't set up right, so we had to tear it back down
Well,
again.
yeah, you must have to calibrate and everything.
You have to calibrate the light boxes. You have to calibrate the controllers with the light boxes. You have to calibrate the headset with the light boxes. Then you have to draw your area into the game, into the headset.
Oh, yes, so it knows what space you have to play with.
Or the safe zone. And
See,
then if
PSVR just lets you walk
hit,
into things.
if lighthouses get hit, you have to restart that all over again. It's like half an hour of work.
Oh, God. And if it's at a party, that's not really...
Nudged. So it's really, really annoying. It just looks annoying, which is not what you want. Anyway,
not for a party scenario, especially.
No, it's like I've had VRTs that I call them quite often in my student accommodation, and it takes me 15 minutes to go from empty kitchen to people playing Beat Saber all over again. It's like half an hour of work. That's brilliant. I just move the PS4 in, set everything up, throw the camera on, throw the headset on somebody, tell them how it works, and let them go. And we've had plenty of nights.
Well, now you've got the headphones as well.
Yeah, and I've got some decent headphones now, so the person in VR has a really good time, which is awesome. And there's several problems that I had with the experience being in the Vive, not just the setup.
Right.
It's heavy. Like, unreasonably heavy.
Yeah.
The PSVR, because it's plastic, and the lenses are plastic, and the screens are decent resolution, but not extremely high, it's built cheaper.
What do you think it is?
I think it is. It's built to be more cheaply.
Than the PSVR?
No, the PSVR is built to be cheaper than the Vive.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because it's got plastic lenses, and the screen resolutions of the lenses is lower, and things like that. And it's got that plastic headband, and does feel a bit cheaper, that. But the weight that comes with glass lenses and all this other faff and palaver.
Oh, of course they'll be heavy, yeah.
Vive means that it feels cumbersome on your head if you're not used to it. Like, it is like you've got a big chunk of something on your head. It's like strapping an old graphics card to your face. You know, like my GTX 480. This giant, ridiculous cooler.
It's about that heavy.
It's like taping that to your eyes, which just doesn't feel good. And then there's the controllers. In the PSVR, you've got the old Move controllers. So they're sticks. They feel like a lightsaber because they're round. They're straight. They don't bend. They don't have a weird thing at the top, and they're very light. Once again, they're lighter.
Right.
Which means you can get more movement on them, more speed on your, hits and thrusts and stuff as you're playing Beat Saber. Because
it probably feels less unnatural because when you're moving your arms in real life, you're not normally holding something.
Well, the thing is that it feels like the lightsabers are heavy when you're in the Vive. Because the Vive controls are heavy, really heavy.
Right, yeah.
Again. And because they've got that bend and that extra mass on the top, they're heavy, weighted the wrong way, if you get me.
Right, yes. You should feel the weight in the centre of the handle.
Yeah. The way a lightsaber looks, all the weight is in the centre where your hand is. So it means that you can get a good swing on things. That's the whole point. With the Vive controllers, all the weight's at the end. So it feels like you have to hold the lightsabers properly. You can't flick them about in your hands because they weigh too much for that. Because the way I play some Beat Saber tracks is I don't really move my arms that much. It's all movement with the fingers and the wrist. I'll flip the controller back and forth for quick movement.
Yeah. Well, you need
Can't
to
do
be
that.
reaction timing is obviously very important.
Yeah, if you minimize a movement, you can do it more quickly. So when
Right.
something like you're on an expert mode song, you need that movement to be fast.
Well, yeah, it's your reaction time's affected, isn't it?
Yeah.
So would
So
you? It's funny that because the Vive kind of hit the boundary between the consumer and the prosumer market. Would you say?
yeah, I
Whereas
think
the
it.
Vive, sorry, the PSVR, I'm pretty sure was kind of solely aimed at the consumer market.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing for it's a thing for playing with, not a tool for creation.
Yes.
You don't feel when you use the PSVR it was built for a higher purpose than me getting a high score in Beat Saber.
Yeah.
With a Vive, it does feel like something that you could do proper work with, architectural work or 3D design, things like that, which is fair.
Which it's probably better for, but it's not
But yeah, I'm
necessarily
pretty
better at
sure it
gaming.
would be better for that stuff. But for the pure experience, which is what Beat Saber is, it's VR boiled down to its basest parts. Is
Yeah.
that feeling, and you just don't get that feeling with the Vive. I don't think as much. It's still there because it's Beat Saber and you're in VR. It's the best.
Yeah.
It's just not as good.
That's
Like another
interesting.
big note I had was the vibration. A big part of Beat Saber is that when you cut that box that's coming towards you to the beat, you get a vibration to the controller. You get rumble, you get feedback.
Yeah.
That feeling when you're on the beat, when you hit the box and you feel the rumble, beat, like that, that feels awesome because you feel really powerful. There's
Yeah.
no resistance from the saber going through the box because the box isn't there, which makes you feel powerful and makes the lightsaber feel real. Because
Yeah.
that's the whole point of lightsabers. They are the most powerful thing. You
Yeah.
can cut through anything. So no resistance makes sense in that scenario.
Yeah.
And with the vibration, it's that added punch of, yeah, you hit that, you're good, carry on. Because I kept re-going for boxes with the Vive because I wasn't
Oh,
sure.
right. Which you've
Because when
never
they're in the
done.
periphery of your vision, you turn your brain off to get maximum speed. If you think about it, you're going too slow.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got to be reactionary and you've got to be fast. And that means you can't have higher processing running
Yeah.
in your brain ball, which sounds stupid, but whatever. So you rely on that vibration to tell you if you've hit that box or not.
Yeah.
And then if you don't feel that vibration, your brain will figure out if you have enough time to go for that box again, or if you've just missed it and you need to hit that next one better.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I miss a box, I will go for the next box harder just in case it's a case of I didn't stretch far enough or the arc of my cut was too short, something like that.
Right. Yeah.
So for Beat Saber, particularly, that's the only game I've played. There may be
Case study. Yeah.
a world of difference with something like Job Simulator or Space Pirate Trainer or something else. But for Beat Saber, which is the best VR game I've played so far, easily, as it is just the purest thing, I don't rate it. The
There you
Vive.
go.
So
Richard's.
if you're my VR roundup, I'm going to be trying a Oculus Rift soon.
Well then you
a
can
mate of
add.
mine
We can add to it.
A mate of mine stores has the Rift, and it sounds like the middle between Vive and PSVR.
That's
So I'm
interesting.
interested to see how I feel about that one.
Yeah.
But a lot of people I know who've tried my PSVR has gone out and bought them because
Right. Yeah.
they try it with me and they're like, okay, yeah, that was really fucking cool. And then because it's cheap and because it's actually achievable to have a PS4 rather than you need the most powerful computer anyone has ever seen. It's to get a PS4 now is like 160 quid or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Plus the headset, plus all the controllers, plus this, plus that. Okay, it's a lot of pluses, but you're looking at 300 maximum, even if you get unlucky.
My final question for this topic is, if you had a PSVR ready computer like I've just about nicked into, would you still buy a PSVR? Because if you think about it, I'm 3/4 of the way there in terms of money.
Yeah, you are, aren't you?
And the fact that I don't have a PS4 already.
You would have to buy the PS4. The thing
So what
is,
do you
I would
think?
just tell people to buy the PS4 anyway
Right, yeah,
because
yeah.
of all the exclusives.
So then
Because
if we
that's the thing
eliminate
with
that,
PS4. You can play The Last of Us, you can play Horizon Zero Dawn, you can play God of War, you can play Days Gone that's just come out.
right, yeah, yeah.
The Outer
I do
Worlds
want
is
to
on
play
PS4.
God of
Metro
War now.
Exodus, which is excellent. There's a bunch of games we can talk about later, but the point is
Yeah,
that buying a PS4 for PSVR then means you have a PS4.
and that's a win
It means
anyway.
you can play some of these really, really brilliant games
Yeah.
that have been Sony exclusive this generation.
Well, that's quite good that we finished that topic though, because I have to go in 5 minutes now. Yes, so we're going to carry on this in part 2 of
Yes.
this kind of podcast with a game rundown.
This year, what we played,
Yay.
what we've not played, why we did that
Yeah.
thing, stuff.
So I hope you enjoyed this one and found it interesting, and we will hopefully be back not 5 months later this time.
No, hopefully very soon.
Yes.
With
Goodbye.
that round this year.
Yep.
Bye.